Since I was young, I looked at things differently. I constantly need to be in motion, to move from one spot to another, but to do it in a unique way. I found this sidecar in a flea market in Mumbai and instantly knew it should be mine. And it is for the past 17 years. Hi, I'm Professor Ido Didi Fabian. I'm an ophthalmologist specializing in eye tumors. I treat here in Sheba little babies with an eye cancer called Retinoblastoma and constantly look for new ways to investigate the disease. A few years ago, I founded the Global Retinoblastoma Study Group, and today it includes most specialists from most countries across the world. Together, we are trying to unveil the world of retinoblastoma and help those little kids from all across the world. And this is what I'm going to talk about today.
Please welcome to the stage Professor Ido Didi Fabian.
Imagine a flat world, not by physical shape as perceived in ancient cultures, flat as an equal opportunity to all people and all children, regardless of where you were born or live. Retinoblastoma is a rare, potentially deadly eye cancer in infants caused by a genetic mutation. There are about 8,000 newly diagnosed cases every year globally. This smiling child has retinoblastoma. You can appreciate the white reflex in the left eye, which is a common first sign. You know, in order to perceive an image, light needs to go through a clear media until it hits a light-sensitive layer, the retina. This transparent route allows us ophthalmologists to look inside our body, see normal structures and pathologies such as this early-stage retinoblastoma. Now, why potentially deadly? Because in the 21st century, retinoblastoma is in fact a curable disease. Children are diagnosed early, successfully treated, and they survive with some disability, but they make it, like that child. This was a state of mind I grew into professionally during my training years. But things changed in mid-2017 when I received an invitation to join the Retinoblastoma Network, a group of specialists in the field from the UK, India, and several countries from sub-Saharan East Africa. There was a meeting taking place in Hyderabad to discuss how to improve the care of children from the African countries. That is where I first understood that what we actually know about the disease comes from rich countries, from North America, Europe, Israel. But globally, less than 10% of the children reside in these countries, whereas most live in poor countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. How does their retinoblastoma look like? Do they survive? Do they hold an equal opportunity? Apparently, at that time, we had no answers to any of those questions. Is the world flat? It would be important to find out. So I went on a long voyage to recruit all retinoblastoma treatment centers across the world to share data, study the disease, and collaborate. Eventually, by the end of 2018, there were 300 centers on board and nearly 4,500 children enrolled from 153 countries. That is more than half of the annual global incidence of the disease. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is probably worth much more. Here. "18 months and 10 seconds. The first study was very simple. We asked, how does a child with retinoblastoma look like at presentation in London, Lima, Lagos, Lahore, and Lviv? We also included cities that do not start with an L. And what did we find? We found that nearly 100% of children from high-income countries present with the tumor confined to the eye. In low-income countries, in contrast, half of the children present with a tumor that has already escaped outside the eye. Now, we know that in some cases, retinoblastoma is inherited by an affected parent, what we call familial disease. In others, it develops de novo, first affected subject in the family. But some of those children, in time, will bring new babies with retinoblastoma. What we found in our global analysis is that children from low-income countries had 3 times less the rate of familial disease compared to those from rich countries. The explanation taken directly from Darwin's Origin of Species, only the fittest survive. Children from poor countries present late, for various reasons, too late, and they do not make it to childbearing age. We also compared Europe to Africa, and not only because both continents are on the same strip. Apparently, in Africa, only children that reside in proximity to the treatment center eventually reach it. Only those within the red circles, which represent the exact location of the centers. Many are left at home to die. From the center's perspective, imagine a blanket that is supposed to cover the entire continent, but in fact has many holes, more holes than fabric. In Europe, the blanket is nice and warm and big enough even to cover parts of North Africa. But furthermore, we did some incidence calculations. Retinoblastoma is like a manufacturing defect in a factory. The mutations occur in a constant rate. This is the known rate for many years. True? Nope, not in Europe, where we found a higher than expected incidence. The disease is more common than we thought. In Africa, the strong survive. In Europe, the weak survive too. Early diagnosis, effective treatments, and the genetic pool of retinoblastoma is on the rise. 2020, and despite COVID, all centers from all countries, still glued together, report the 3-year survival of retinoblastoma, to find out, sadly, that George Orwell was right. All are equal, but some are more than others. Nearly all children from high-income countries survive, as compared to only half of those from poor countries. Let me put this in numbers. If you were born in Malawi and diagnosed with retinoblastoma, you'd have 17 times increased risk to die than if born in North America. As in any scientific experiment, first measure the baseline status, then assess, intervene, reassess, and continue moving forward. It's a long journey with numerous challenges, and it takes time until an impact is seen. We're collaborating with the WHO, the World Health Organization, and are in continuous interaction with local governments. Uganda, for example. Share knowledge, create new treatment centers, discuss policies, train local doctors. 2 years ago, we started a project to link local centers and international experts by telemedicine, having monthly online meetings, tumor boards, discussing challenging cases. Not only Uganda, Anglophone, Francophone African countries, outside Africa as well. Politics is not an issue. On the contrary, we are bridging the gap. Pakistan, Iran, there are no borders. We are witnessing today a global genetic revolution. Flat world, remember? We're introducing genetic testing in African countries and link between geneticists from rich countries with local doctors to assist in family counseling. For retinoblastoma, this is a game changer. Just the other day, I ran into a short piece in The Guardian in which readers replied to the following question. If the earth were flat, how would our lives be different? There were dozens of replies. One reader rightfully said that mountaineering would be a lot safer. Others claimed we would have a load of conspiracy theories trying to convince people of a globaler Earth. But I related mostly to, what do you mean if? Thank you.